What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if we will see Beyond Good and Evil 2 in 2023. I know it probably sounds like a pipe dream, but it seems like things could be making some sort of progress behind the scenes over there at Ubisoft, and so I don't think it's impossible. I will tell you right off the jump, my prediction, if giving that out, I would say no. I would say we go through this year one more time, probably only one more time, without seeing it. I would imagine if we don't see it this year, we see it in 2024. And it's just for the simple fact that it does seem like things are actually happening. It seems like, they're finally putting the right people in positions. Now, how they were making any sort of game over the last couple of years without some of the positions that they had now filled, but they didn't have filled like a year or two ago. How did that actually happen? It beats me because I really don't know. One thing we have heard pretty recently, and they are rumors, but they do come from Tom Henderson's, rumor website, Insider Gaming, and he's a very good, insider just in general, was playtesting, that there is playtesting being done for this game. Now, playtesting doesn't mean the game is within the year it's launching, right? You do playtests 2-3 years, ahead of time. And that's kind of the point. That's kind of why if you were to skip this year, I think just the fact, if you believe that there is playtesting that has happened back in late 2022, and you would imagine it continues this year, that they are starting to work up where there'd probably be something to at least show, right? And as I've said for these videos, whether it's on this channel or my main channel, one thing you also have to kind of play with when you're making these predictions is the rules of the gaming industry. Now, while I think some, places or some developers are getting away from announcing a game like 6 years before it comes out, I think generally that's still kind of a pretty popular thing to do, is kind of announce the game or show the game before it's ready to come out way too early, right? All those kind of buzzwords. And, well, in fact, Ubisoft probably is guilty of this literally with, Beyond Good and Evil 2, let alone, I'm not even talking about them with the other examples or just the gaming industry in general, but if you want to talk about Ubisoft, they have literally done it for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, maybe they learned their lesson, and maybe they're thinking, all right, next time we show this game, we want it to be within like a year and a half of it coming out. And that is what I think would completely eliminate this year from happening. But if they're in the mindset of thinking, hey, we finally have something to show, and also a little bit of a different situation with Beyond Good and Evil 2 versus other games, it's kind of a pretty rare game that appears and disappears for years and years. And you're right, it's been so long that it probably falls in the category as well. Like, I could see this line of thinking where let's just show it. Like on one side you would say, all right, next time you show it, it should be really close to when the game comes out. It's going to maybe upset people if we show it, and then it's still got like 3 more years left. But on the other side of things, you could also imagine them thinking, we finally have something tangible, something that's actually real. We didn't really have that back then. Let's do it, because I think this would get people excited, even though the game is a while from releasing. And really, depending on which of those two sides you fall on, is where I think if it would be shown this year or not. But I think next year, an entire year this year to really start building it up. Who knows what, part of the development cycle they're actually in with this game, but they're at least in a state where things can be play tested, so that is definitely a good sign. But who knows, maybe they get to the point where they're ready to show it around the Game Awards time. Maybe you take an entire year and next year you really start showing it off. It would be pretty nuts whenever we get to the point of this game like actually coming out, right? I assume even comments to this video would be there is another option, and that's that the game doesn't exist and the game is never coming out. If you know me, or if you don't, that's okay. Here's what you should know. I believe in the underdogs, or I root for the underdogs. There's very few games, even the games that disappear for like years and years, there's very few of them that I think are actually canceled or aren't coming out. I actually tend to believe games that have been dormant for so long, they will eventually happen. Maybe the only one is Little Devil Inside. That one, just for some reason, that one gets me, where I really would buy the argument that game has been canceled secretly and just nobody knows. But no, I really think Beyond Good and Evil 2 will eventually come out. Will it be a good game? Oh, absolutely no idea. Will it release over the next couple years? May not even do that, right? This could still be a game that's 3-4 years away, and that's, again, why we have to kind of play by their rules. If you announce it, or you show, they've already announced it technically, but re-announce it, you could do it now. You could do it now because the game's 3 years away. Yeah, it's kind of annoying for us, but ultimately it's kind of what the gaming industry does. But if you're going to sit and kind of wait it out, then maybe you're going to wait a little while longer before you start really shoving it down our throats and saying, hey, it's coming out. And I guess if you even want to go based off of the other games in Ubisoft's kind of portfolio, they have tended recently to kind of keep them closer to the chest. Even like AC Mirage, I guess the other AC games, right, the further out ones, those are probably the closest. Like, yes, Skull and Bones exists, but like more modern time, they haven't talked about the Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time remake, right? They're kind of keeping that close. Even their Star Wars game at Massive, even the Avatar game, that game was going to come out and they delayed it, a few months before, and they really showed almost like absolutely nothing on that game. So there is actually a tendency, it seems, from Ubisoft to keep things close until the time is right. And so maybe it would be the latter. So that's, again, why my actual prediction would be you don't see Beyond Good and Evil 2 in 2023. And the best thing you can hope for is just that the game starts to make some really good progress, and then next year I think it would be pretty likely. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.